We all know it's awfully big, but when you read this piece and you see this bar chart that he put up, it is amazing.
It is incredible. And so we're almost exactly 10 years on from the financial crisis. September 15th is really the day that everybody looks back to. That was the day that Lehman filed for bankruptcy. And while there became a lot of have-nots on Wall Street, the haves really went to BlackRock and firms like it, and we can talk a little bit about some of those others. But BlackRock in particular made some unbelievably crucial moves. Larry Fink comes to the fore. I mean, it's a remarkable rise.
So how'd they do it?
So the biggest single thing they did was they bought Barclays ETF business. That went up for sale, and they were one of the few who could do it. It was a pretty big price tag, and that was the biggest bet on passive at a time when the world was shifting that way, but it wasn't totally clear to everyone. BlackRock had actually undertaken a study to say, this is where we need to go. We probably can't do it organically. We need to make an acquisition, and here comes this iShares business, and that has really helped transform them. The other thing that they did was they stepped into a lot of businesses that the banks had to get out of, these investing businesses. And one of the things that I think is the most important sort of frames for this is power on Wall Street really shifted from the bankers to the investors, from the sell side to the buy side. And BlackRock really embodies that.
The concern for me is going forward when you have BlackRock saying that you could hit $12 trillion for the global market for funds by 2023. Does that sow the seeds for the next crisis? I mean, you talk to people on Wall Street, they're most concerned with how the markets are going to move if there's a mad rush out of these ETF products. From the corporate bond market to less liquidity, like real estate. I mean, it covers all the different aspects. I
think it's a great question. I don't think any of us really know the answer to that, but I do think it's probably one of the under-asked questions as we think about the big risks around the corner. Obviously the folks who run these firms would say that's not the case. One of the most notable things that Larry Fink did was convince regulators, because he was helping shape the law in a lot of ways. He's a counselor to presidents and world leaders. He was able to get BlackRock out of that too big to fail bucket of sorts. So we'll see where it goes.
We'll see whether that was a good thing or a bad thing for the system overall.
That's exactly
because we're always fighting the last war.
That's the thing. That's right. And usually regulation that comes down sows the seeds for the next financial crisis. That's like proven throughout history.